last time we did this?
Launceston.
I have no idea. I can't remember anything about that.
Memory missing from 2 meters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a disappointing game.
Yeah. I reckon we just get stuck into it.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to Saints TV Round 20 review. We're back at Jaden's place. My first experience of Adelaide and Adelaide Oval. Going into this game, I thought we were probably going to win, to be honest. I was pretty confident going into this game. I know Adelaide copped it all week and were under a lot of pressure, and that's kind of, I guess, what happened in the game was they came out playing as a team that was under pressure, and I was hoping they would buckle under the pressure, but they seemed to, I guess, just handle it pretty well.
Yeah.
If anything,
I don't think they played that well.
No.
Like in terms of, you look at the media coming out already with the match reports and stuff, and Adelaide playing a good game, and yeah, they were good in the last bit of that last quarter.
We had them,
but for most of the game, I thought it was a pretty even contest. They didn't look like a final side.
They look like a team that are going to sneak into 8th, and play whoever's 5th, which could be a team like Richmond or something.
100%. But on the same part, ours, we weren't that great either. Skill wise, was a bit poor, forward of the ball, and obviously lack of polish in the end. So I think it was probably the fair result in the end. Disappointing. Yeah. I wasn't overly confident with our record at Adelaide Oval. Those sort of records shouldn't come into it, but when you've never won underground before, every time you go there, pressure mounts each time.
Do you reckon most of I wonder how many of our players that played today, it was their first experience or one of their first experiences at Adelaide Oval?
There'd be a few.
Caulfield never played there. Hunter Clark's probably
Callum Wilkie would be another one.
Wilkie's another one. Hind.
But then again, you got to sort of.
There is a lot of
You just got to do it. I think it's been 9 years now since we've started playing at Adelaide Oval, since they changed from Amy Stadium to Adelaide Oval, and still unable to get a W. And 22 points is a good result, but it's not a good result at the same time.
Well, when you look back, the easy part, we don't want to obviously focus on too many of the negatives, because I thought there were some. Caulfield being one, Wilkie being one, were some of the positives for me. But when you look at the negatives, it was the Billing snap, the Bruce 2 shots and missing, Membry hitting the post from and then annoyingly to rub it in, he kicks it from that position moments later.
Not even a tighter angle.
From a tighter angle, so it just kind of rubs it in. But you take those chances, and I feel like the momentum's with us. The crowd's probably less engaged, and you can go from there. Yeah,
100%. And the Adelaide crowd's very quick to turn on their team, especially when they're in bad form, what they were. Even tonight,
they were chipping backwards. The crowd?
Exactly. Our zone was really strong in that first half, and they really did struggle to get it forward. And as soon as the crowd turns against you, you sort of question yourself as a player. All right, what am I doing wrong that's not appealing to our fans?
Yeah.
And then you doubt yourself, and then that's when the opposition can come in. And it's important for an interstate team to shut the crowd out straight away. Melbourne, you don't really notice it much because, Marvel, MCG, it's sort of neutral. But when you go to an interstate game, you really notice how lopsided the fan differential is. So,
especially just even from a supporter base, walking around, it's Adelaide.
Yeah.
You go to Adelaides and Kilda at Marvel, you walk around, you're every 3 or 4, you'll see an interstate fan.
Yeah. But it was okay. I think we were in it for most of the part of the game, but really liked the polish at the end, and as you said, all those misses. Parker, another one, open goal, decided to sort of rush it a bit, and just little things like that mounts up very quickly.
One person that we might as well just cover off from the get-go that everyone's been commenting on. I'm going to mention Dan McKenzie.
Originally, I thought
we re-signed him for 3 years, didn't we? He had another 3-year deal, or
I think it might have been a year or two, like a year extension or 2 year. Originally, I thought bad choice. I thought Brandon White should come in.
Yeah.
He's had some really good form this year. Had a good game against Gold Coast where he got injured. A little bit disappointed in not seeing him.
Jimmy Webster played for Sandy again, didn't he?
I think there's still questions about his fitness. Yeah. So that was more of a match fitness sort of problem there.
Interstate as well.
Yeah. But just some of the choices of D-Mac, he does some really courageous stuff, and it sort of does give a bit of confidence to everyone else. he fired that handball to give, I think it might have been Seb Ross or
Loney snap.
Loney snap, sorry, yeah. So little things like that. But then that Tex goal at the start, I think it was the start of the second quarter where he just fumbled it, and you know, you can rush that. The rule is 5 meter, you know, arc, you know, pressure was on, just rush it over, get it over, reset, let's get the ball back in our hands and move it forward. So
the one thing that I've heard a lot of people mention about him is that when Richo was picking him, he never picked him on his skill. He always picked him on his aerobic capacity that he, you know, like even in preseason, he does all the time trials, he does all the 4K runs. He always finishes top 2.
Yeah.
He's an athlete, he's not a footballer.
Yeah. I think that's and his disposal use, you know, especially kicking the ball, is very questionable at the best of times. So personally, I think White's a better option if Webster's not fit, better user of the ball. Defensively, maybe not as great one-on-one as McKenzie, but I think team fit-wise, probably a better option, and just a smarter user of knowing what's going on and what to do.
And I know you usually do this on Judge Jaden where you will say the ins and outs, but let's just talk it now. Based on tonight, and we're playing Freo at home next week, which was, I mean, our season might be done now, but I still feel like next week's still a very important game.
100%.
Who would you bring in? Who would come out? I know there's not a lot of players at Sandy at the moment.
Well, Sandy had a really good, really bad game. Sorry, not
10 goals in the third.
Yeah, 30. I think it was 33 all at half time, and Sandy finished on 40 for the game and conceded 10 in the third. So the season's over, but it's not over. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys like Dunstan who still hasn't got a contract for next year. You got 3 games to sort of prove yourself as to why, you know, you should be asking for a 3, 4, 5 year deal or you know, $400,000, $500,000 a year deal. But you know, you got to take these games as serious as the other ones, although they don't mean as much. It gives you a lot of confidence going to the next season, pre-season, off-season. Gives you more attractiveness from opposition players. You know, talks of, you know, Brad Hill, Brad Crouch, Caniglio, you know, if there's a chance there. Those sort of players, you know, you see a good end to the season, and like, okay, well, mentally they don't switch off. They're in the game for the end of the season, regardless of the result. Based on tonight, you caught me off guard here. McKenzie, obviously an out. I think Jimmy Webster will come back in for McKenzie. Parker, I think, been a really bad couple of months for Parker. I don't think he's had a good game in a very long time. But at the same time, there's no one really knocking the door down in Sandy. They're struggling to kick over.
For like change. I mean, when you forget that, you know, Ben Patton and Nunes had gastro, they'll obviously be recovered. Hanbury might be possibly. He should be covered. You never know with him. Stephen, I don't think will ever play for us. We might get one game from him where it's like a see you later sort of. There'll be one game when he plays. He won't say that. No one will say that's his last game, but he'll do something at the end. He'll wave to the fans, and they'll be like, "Shit, he's gone." Like,
I reluctantly think 100% he's probably last game's already been played for St Kilda. I think he'll be going to Geelong at the end of the season. Hanbury, I think will be back next week. All reports he was okay. It was just illness. But body-wise, he's fit and ready to go. Jack Nunes and Patton probably come back in. Thought we missed Patton a little bit.
I thought so too. Him and Caulfield had good chemistry last week.
Hind wasn't too good in the first half. He kicked that goal, but that was about it. I did like his move into the midfield. Used a little bit of his pace. He took the game on in that last quarter. Did it work out? No. But you can't sit back and just play, you know, we'll just kick it here, kick it there. Sometimes you got to take the risk. I think that's what happened in the first goal that Adelaide scored. It was a risky kick and they turn over. But as a fan, you're not too disheartened by that. Okay, it's a full skill error.
Trying to make something happen.
But, you know, you're taking the game on, you're being risky. And when you go into state, you can't just play. You can't play percentages.
Ben Long? How many touches?
He only had the 4 touches, but I thought he impacted the contest a little bit. He gave away a 50-metre penalty that probably arguably shouldn't have been given regardless, but he shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Almost sealed the game a little bit for Adelaide.
A little bit, yeah. So I think he's always had that discipline issue. Even I think at the start of the year, he gave away stupid free kicks against Gold Coast. When, you know, you just don't need to do it. So maybe he's another one, but at the end of the day, you can't keep swapping these guys at the same time. It's hard.
I think Ratan just needs to. I mean, the good thing with Ratan is I feel like he's pretty calm and collected.
Yeah,
he won't make drastic changes.
No, and we've noticed the last couple of weeks. I mean, the one or 3 changes to speak, but originally the one. I think there might have been just one change last week.
Yeah.
So he's not changing too much. He wants to keep the same sort of faces, the same chemistry going on, regardless of the result, unless it's an absolute whitewash. So, but 22 points.
Interstate, our average losing margin here is, I think, in the 50s.
53, 54. It's especially against the Crows as well.
And usually that damage is done within the first, before half time, isn't it?
Yeah, so 100%. In the game for 3.5 quarters.
11 points down with 12 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's not a bad result, but from a fan, you want that close result to be a win.
I feel like that's, like every team has that turning point where they're a team like us that has struggled for so long, waiting for that. It's like a breakout win. And I feel like we can have as many really good wins against Richmond and GWS, years ago in Melbourne. Yeah. But until we can win a game like tonight, interstate.
And it happened early on against Fremantle as well.
Level.
Yeah,
Fremantle go to that next level.
Fremantle lost by 5 points in round 3, I think it was. Games like that, that's what shapes seasons. It's not what you can do at home, it's what you can do away.
And Brisbane have won the last 4 interstate.
Yeah.
So that says everything about, and you look at where they are in the ladder, they're top 3.
Yeah, 100%.
You lose them, you're not top 3.
Yeah. Interstate games are more important than home games.
Yeah. What do you think of the Adelaide crowd? Drunk guy behind us.
No, he was all right. You get him at any game. It was a good vibe.
It's a good ground.
As a neutral fan, you wouldn't be too unhappy to go see that game. It was a good game. Every time Adelaide looked like they were going to kick away, some Kilda came back, and at the end, it was just a couple of goals at the end that really cost us.
Bruce missing.
Yeah.
Not going to pin it on him, but
it goes a long way.
It does.
And they weren't difficult shots.
They weren't difficult shots. That's when the game was in the balance, and we probably hit the front. So I think there was a couple that
100%
lead.
Yeah.
Enough of us ranting. Let's go through some of these comments. Pete says, I'd rather eat a large bag of poo than ever watch Mackenzie in a Saints jumper again. What are your thoughts? Fair call. Tom says, how do you think we can fix the mistakes we have up forward? Was the forward line that bad tonight? I don't think it was. I think it wasn't the forward line, to be honest. I think the forwards made the leads, but our midfield was slow. At times, they didn't go when the plays were free. And
we're a much better side, and I think we showed it against Melbourne and even the start of the year when we're moving the ball very quickly. We get those shots, even against the Bulldogs, get those shots within inside that V, 20 to 30 metres out. You're going to be a lot more accurate rather than having shots on the boundary. Yeah. Was the forward line amazing? No, I think they got in each other's way a little bit. It was a bit congested at times. But at the same time, we need to open the space up and let them lead into the space. I think there was one.
We did one with Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce in there. I think it was in the third quarter when it happened.
And who was it? Was it high? Oh, long, actually.
Shepherd.
Yeah. For him to run
so stuff like that's what helps the good teams become better teams.
I think if you look at under Ratan, for 2.5 weeks, I'll say, the first 2 weeks, obviously, our forward line was a lot better. I thought tonight, even though it wasn't great, I still think it was a million times better than what it's been in the last 12 weeks with Richo. No offense to his coaching, but
just the way they set up.
It still gave you a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
And I don't think Richo's structure did.
Yeah.
We need a couple of mids who have polish.
Yeah, there's one over in Fremantle. Where's number 9?
Nat 5.
No, 5'7".
Is he 7? Oh,
used to play for Hawthorn. Premiership player. Brad Hill. Do
you think he takes us to the 8 next year if we get him?
I don't think he solely does.
But
I think if you look at the list and they have another, development of, Marshall again, Billings, Wilkie has another pre-season. He's only first year in. Caulfield Clark have had a really good month of football. Patton's been good so far this year. All those sort of players. Well, then he
King
can help.
Comes in.
King, another one.
Will come in.
Yeah.
I think I've heard a lot of good things about Vital.
Yeah. So it's all development and making sure that you're taking each step as you're meant to take it, not holding back and being sort of complacent.
Do you think that I mean, this is something that a lot of media people talk about, and they think they're experts at every list, but a lot of people think that our list isn't as good as, it's bottom 2, bottom 3. I don't agree with that. Do you think our list, if you were Brett Ratton or another coach that's looking at this team that wants to go for the job, and they look at the list, do you think they're like, well, there's something to go here. There's a bit to work with.
You can do that at any club, though. Like, even Gold Coast, you'd be able to go, okay, well, they've got a few pieces here and there, but
it's not a bad list.
It's not a bad list. You look at the players that were really good tonight.
And what were the ages?
And they're all under 24, 25.
Exactly.
That's a really good sort of start.
Whereas I think if you look at Adelaide, I reckon it's the opposite end.
Yes, 100%. A bar a few, Brad Crouch and that sort of stuff. Whether Hill can take us to that top 8, I don't think one player can do that.
Yeah.
If one player was to do that, I don't think he's that player that can. But he can absolutely add a bit of polish and make that delivery inside 50 a lot better for our forward line.
Yeah. Charlie says just some really poor skill errors, just didn't nail the goals we needed at all. All in all, not bad.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, Charlie.
Cooper says Ben Long was poor again. 4 touches. Surely you can't justify a spot for him this year. In Hannah's, Stephen, Akers, Webster, and Nunes. I forgot about Akers, to be honest, with his shoulder. I think he'll be fit as well. Out Long, Mackenzie, Langlands. Probably, I feel like he had
a good start to the game, but then sort of went missing a little bit.
I feel like it's justifiable that he could get dropped.
Yeah.
But I think he's the sort of guy that he'll give him that extended run for the rest of the
It's easy
season.
to just go, okay, you're the new guy.
He started like a house on fire. Yeah. He was everywhere. Caulfield definitely don't agree with. He was one of our best tonight, I thought. Almost a breakout game for him.
And with Battle, I thought Battle was... I don't think we can play Wilkie, Battle, Brown and Carlisle in the same team. Because I think Battle's really established himself as a key defender and he doesn't have the engine to be able to be that Tom Lynch link-up man.
We played him like that tonight, though.
Yeah.
He didn't play back at all.
Yeah, so I don't think... Maybe another off-season, pre-season of developing the engine a little bit can change that. But as of right now, I don't think those 4 can be in the same team.
Yeah. Darcy says, hey, guys, long-time Saints supporter. I'd love to see Brad Scott coach us next year. What do you think? Brad Scott, as senior coach of St Kilda, would you get a membership if Brad Scott was on?
I wouldn't base a membership on a coach.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like the idea. I just don't think the way he worked with North Melbourne and his game style, if he has a game style, can work fast at the moment with the list that we've got. I think Brett Ratton is probably the ideal candidate.
But there's also another that you're pretty interested in that a few Saints fans, most Saints fans don't really agree with, in Ross Lyon.
I understand where people come from with that, but I'm not totally against it. I still think defensively it would help us a lot. We're really lacking in terms of restricting teams to under 80, 85 points a game. And I think he can sort of just, get back his defensive game plan a little bit.
We did play fairly attacking at times.
Yeah, and, you have a really good defense, well, then it can sort of help you move the ball a lot quicker in offense. It's a weird way how it works, but you go like basketball, defense wins games. It's the same thing in any sport. Footy's no different. So I'm not 100% against the idea, but at the moment, I think the choice would be Ratton, but I'm not signing a paper just yet.
Yeah. Joseph's disappointed last quarter. Matt says, why spend so much time on D-Mac when majority of the team made multiple errors and poor decisions all night long? He was bad, but so were many others.
Yeah.
Fair call?
Yeah, fair call.
Play some youngsters the next 3 games. To be honest, our team's very young already.
Yeah,
we're playing the youngsters.
There's not many more players. You got Robbie Young on the 2s that could play. Max King's out injured. Bartel's out injured.
And the rest that are in there that could come in are not...
I'd like to see a little bit of Jack Mayo.
Yeah.
So I think he'd be that perfect link-up guy. Forward of the ball, he's got a good engine, knows where the goals are.
It's one player that hasn't been remotely talked about.
Yeah, he's had a few good games in the VFL, but nothing to sort of stamp his name out and go, look at me. So might see him in a week or 2, maybe.
Yeah. Tony says Billings and Ross, the Marshmallow Brothers, scared of the dark.
I did hear Billings might have been ill.
Yeah,
I did see a report that he was a little bit under the weather. So
because of gastro?
Yeah, something like that. So whether that's true or not, I'm not too sure.
Gastro with Adelaide teams. Doesn't make sense. Jacob says, get Joyce in. He kicked 2 last week in the VFL, and it was his first time ever playing forward. 1-touch marker 2. Joyce forward.
I don't have a problem with Bruce and Membry at the moment. They're both marking the ball pretty well.
Was good.
Apart from tonight, Bruce was kicking really accurately. I sort of put him off his game by saying that before he kicked his first shot. But apart from that, the forward line hasn't been too bad. 100 points in the last 2 weeks. Why would you change it?
And 70. I mean, it wasn't a high score, but it wasn't a low score.
No, so it's...
And it's not like Bruce didn't have his chances.
Exactly.
He had 3 or 4. He could have kicked 4 tonight.
Yeah.
Saints are 3 mid short of being anything. One-dimensional. Razors has slaughtered the ball. Kicked ourselves out of it.
Yep.
Fair call. Bo says, do you think Ratan will be Saints senior coach in 2020? If you had to put money on it, would you say that he's got it?
Not yet.
If we win our remaining 3 games, has he got it?
I don't think it comes down to win-loss. I think it's form, it's structures, it's how is he going to make this team go from that 9th to 12th to 13th position to a top 8 spot. What's he going to do? Who's he going to bring in? Who's he going to let go? What's the plan for the next 2 years to take that next step?
Yeah.
To me, that's the selection I'd be basing the choice on, regardless if it's Ratan, Scott, Lyon, or any of the other people that apply for it.
Obviously, Teague hasn't really gotten the job yet at Carlton.
I don't think he's going to.
Do you think we would look at him then?
As an assistant.
Yeah.
Not as a coach just yet.
Yeah.
I think I'd still like to go back to people that have done it previously rather than necessarily go for a freshie.
Ross Lyon and Teague under him.
Paul Roos would be nice. I still think Paul Roos is, if you ever need a coach at your side, he's always number 1 on the list, but I don't think he's up to it.
Yeah. And then you've got, I heard rumours that Jared Roughhead was touring the Saints facility yesterday, or recently anyway.
During the week, yeah.
Yeah. He would be a big get for us, I think, to have.
As a coach, I wouldn't like him playing.
He definitely would not be playing. I am confident that it would be in a coaching capacity.
Even if he...
Or would it be like... You would even have him as like a Lukey Hodge sort. We don't need that, do we?
No.
We don't need that sort of leadership.
I don't think... It's not that we don't need it. I don't think he's got the capability of doing it. Yeah. I think he's run his race. Obviously, be very good off the field.
Ratton's worked with him a lot.
Even in development role, working cross with St Kilda and Sandy. And getting that affiliation on a much better part. Because at the moment, Sandy's a rabble.
Yeah.
And Aaron Hamble, I think, will walk at the end of... or either walk or be told to walk at the end of the season. So... maybe that partnership can happen there.
Let's quickly go through some of these. Have to play Caulfield for the rest of the year and get more games into him. He's starting to look very good. I think that we both agree that was one of our highlights, was his marking.
Marking and his poise as well, yeah.
And he changed the angles, didn't he? Yeah. He was confident to go inside. Paul says Robert Harvey for coach. What are your thoughts on getting your favourite son? It didn't work with James Hird. It almost didn't work with Nathan Buckley.
Didn't work with Michael Voss.
Didn't work with Michael Voss.
Didn't work with Matthew Primus. I wouldn't say a favourite son, but a former player. Doesn't work.
Don't go
too emotion.
Harvey's had a good stint at Collingwood and they rate him there. He's not just coming from no experience.
It's hard. There's too much emotion in it for me.
Okay. Brandon White is dominating week in, week out in the twos. I can't get my head around why he isn't being picked. Fuck off, Mackenzie.
Yep.
Brandon White.
I've got nothing to add to that one.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Retz Savage took some great grabs too. I thought Savage was great tonight.
Yeah.
I thought he did well on Betts, even though Betts kicked 2.
And I think they sort of changed that when it was we had the ball in our forward half. Savage was sort of staying back on Betts.
Yeah.
But then when they were in their forward half, Mackenzie was taking a 1-on-1. Don't know why they do that.
I would have been comfortable with Savage.
Yeah, 100%. So.
And last comment for now is Bo says Saints need to replace Daniel McKenzie with Brandon White. It's the same comment.
Yeah.
I think we'll cut it there. The rest of the year, do you think we win all our games? We've got Fremantle and Melbourne, we've got Carlton at the G, and we've got Sydney and Sydney, which I will be going to that one. You going to go to that one? Sydney?
No, I'm in Melbourne that week. I'm in Melbourne for the basketball. Fremantle, I think we can do it. I think we can respond really well.
I think it'll be interesting.
Carlton's the one for me. I don't think that's a given.
Just play well with the G.
Just with the way both teams are playing, Carlton, again, that comes back to that thing. The season's over, but it's never over. So they're playing with a lot of confidence. And Sydney, being over in Sydney, I think it's sort of like a game like tonight. We go there with a bit of confidence. We can cause an upset. But
if we make some silly mistakes, don't take our chances. They'll just do what they do and they'll grind away.
Yeah, 100%.
And they played pretty well today. They only lost by...
They were probably a bit stiff to miss out on the 4 points.
So it's the top 4 team. So they've still got something there.
But I look at it, it's still sort of a positive outlook. 8 wins from 20 games. Most people predict us to finish with the same as last year, 3-4
Yeah,
wins.
we've doubled our wins from last year. And
chance to get to 10 wins for a season with the list and the injuries.
The number
that
of
we've had
injuries,
this year.
we've sacked a coach.
Yeah.
Sickness has gone through the team twice already. Like there's so many things that surely can't happen again next year. Go in next year, have a coach that is backed by the players. So I feel like even round 1 this year, I feel like a lot of the
there's
teams
still a bit of
iffy
about it.
Richo.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
And if we can win the next 3, it just goes a long way to recruiting. That's the key.
100%.
We need to recruit.
100%.
Do you think we draft or do you think we trade our picks to get players in? What's more important is continue to get young kids or do we really need to get established A-grade 25?
I think now it's back to getting other players in now. As we said, Marshall's under 23, Clark, Caulfield, Ross is 26, Gresham's, all those players, they've been playing really well and they're the 23, 24 age. Now we need that polish, that experience. Brad Hill's a perfect example. I was never against the thought of Todd Goldstein.
Neither. I think Marshall forward would be huge. Not permanently, but it would rotate. You'd have more flexibility.
But just that extra, knowledge of the rough craft.
Yeah.
Goldstein was, he's all Australian. He knows what he's doing. It adds a little bit extra. Brad Crouch, another one, wouldn't be against that. I think Dunstan's 85% gone to South Australia now that his contract's still up in the air. Unless he could get a deal done there, I think.
I was a bit iffy on him at the start of the year, but the way he's turned his... I think
100%,
6 weeks.
Yeah, 100%. And it comes back to that.
He was dropped and he's come back and he's performed.
And same with Clark. A lot of people called for him to be playing earlier in the year, but he had that really good month of VFL footy, and now he's come back and he's averaging 26, 27 touches. He looks like he's got the ball on a string.
And it's standard, it's not like he has to... It's not like he's trying. It's just kind of... That's him now. And Marshall's the same.
Now we know what to expect. Jack Billings, another one.
Yeah.
So all those sort of players are starting to get into that 50 to 100 game sort of gap. That's why we need the veterans now.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave it there, guys. Thanks very much for watching. This will be up on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and on Facebook as well if you want to rewatch it or comment, and we'll respond when we can. Flying back tomorrow, and then we'll chat Fremantle on Thursday night. See you later.